Chosen one, this has been hiding in plain sight all this time, and your guides want you to finally see it clearly now. Your awareness has been signaling the truth long before your mind caught up. Now the ground is cracking. You were never meant to stay in the role they assigned you. The discomfort around you is confirmation. Once you see this fully, their influence dissolves permanently. There is someone close to you who is consumed with a specific kind of envy right now. This isn't the surface kind that fades after they scroll past your post. This is deep, rotting, all-consuming envy that has poisoned how this person sees everything about you. This individual doesn't wake up thinking about their own dreams anymore. Their waking thoughts are focused on blocking yours instead. And the twisted part, this person doesn't even necessarily want what you have. The real issue is that you having it creates unbearable discomfort in them. Let that reality land for a second. Their whole focus has become preventing your success. They're not building something original for themselves. That's how sick this energy has become. Your failure has been made into someone else's full-time mission. Your struggle serves as a security blanket for another person's fragile ego. Because as long as you're not thriving, they can tell themselves comfortable lies about worthiness and deserving, and how the universe distributes blessings to people. This person has been in your garden recently. They didn't come as a guest you invited. They came as a spy gathering intelligence on you. They've been asking questions that seemed caring, but were actually information extraction. Where are you going next? Who are you meeting with? What opportunity has you excited? And you answered these questions because you thought you were sharing with a friend. But they were taking notes on everything you said. They were cataloging your information carefully. They were reporting details back to someone else, or storing them as ammunition for later use against you. Your social media has become an obsession for this watcher. Every picture you post gets analyzed by them. Every caption you write gets dissected for meaning. Every connection you make gets screenshotted and discussed with others. This isn't support from the sidelines like it appears. This is surveillance happening in real time, and it's been happening in plain sight because you were too kind to believe someone could be that intentional about wishing you harm. But while focus was being placed on your external life, something invisible was happening. You were doing deep work, the kind that doesn't show up in posts or status updates, healing wounds that most people don't even acknowledge exist, releasing patterns that have been passed down through generations, choosing yourself when it felt completely selfish to do so, building your relationship with your higher power in the quiet moments nobody sees, balancing spiritual practice with real-world action instead of just talking about growth. And this combination created something unexpected, a force field, a frequency that cannot be penetrated by lower vibrations. No matter what gets sent your way, it can't stick to you anymore. And that's making certain people desperate. Remember this detail, because desperation is about to make someone sloppy, and that's when you'll see everything with crystal clarity. They went after your creativity first. They sent energy to block your ideas, your inspiration, your ability to innovate. Their intention was to have you staring at blank pages and empty canvases, doubting whether you ever had talent in the first place. They tried to delay your opportunities because they thought if they could slow you down enough, you'd quit before the breakthrough arrived. Then they shifted their focus to your confidence. They designed attacks to make you question whether you deserved good things. They wanted you wondering if you were fooling yourself with big dreams. They hoped you would just be grateful for scraps and stop reaching for more. Their goal was to keep you small, manageable and predictable. They wanted you easy to control and categorize. Some of these people used practices they barely understood. They cobbled together rituals from internet searches and half-remembered folklore. They twisted prayers into curses with malicious intent. They weaponized energy work for control instead of healing. They believed they were wielding real power against you. But here's what happens when people use sacred tools for harm. The universe rejects that energy completely. The spiritual realm has standards that cannot be bypassed by anyone, and every bit of poison they attempted to send your way, it either bounced back to the sender or dissolved before reaching you. You've been balancing something that most people can't comprehend: spiritual depth combined with practical action. You're not just meditating and hoping things will change magically. You're doing inner work while also taking real steps in the physical world, healing trauma while simultaneously building new skills, releasing dead weight while creating space for what's actually aligned with your purpose. This combination built an energetic shield around you that negativity cannot crack or penetrate. And there's someone specific you need to understand. This person looks successful on the surface, balanced and grounded to outside observers, but underneath the facade, barely holding together. Finances are crumbling, relationships are falling apart, the inner world is complete chaos, and instead of fixing a personal foundation, the decision was made that stealing from yours was the solution, taking your blessings somehow, redirecting your opportunities into another life. The audacity of this approach reveals everything about how spiritually bankrupt this person really is. Keep this in your memory, because what happens next will make perfect sense once you understand how desperate someone has become. Now, this is where the situation gets truly wild. Some of these people are actually working together in coordination against you. And here's the part that should tell you everything about their character. These individuals hate each other deeply. Under normal circumstances, being in the same room would be unbearable for both of them. But they formed an alliance based on having a common enemy. You are that common enemy they share. One person comes from your past. This might be an ex who never moved on emotionally from you. This could be an old friend who feels entitled to your energy and time. This is someone who thinks they still own a piece of your story, even though that chapter closed completely. The other person is currently in your circle right now. They're pretending to offer support while feeding information back to the first individual. These two have been meeting up behind your back. They've been messaging each other regularly. They've been comparing notes about you and your life. What changes have you noticed in your behavior? What opportunities did you mention recently? Who are you spending time with now? They're obsessed with controlling a narrative about you, even though neither was ever qualified to write your story. And the reason they're working together despite mutual disgust, they can feel the window closing on their influence. They sense that you're about to be completely out of their reach, not just physically out of reach, but energetically beyond their access. You're ascending to a frequency that cannot be touched by these lower vibrations anymore. One of these people recently made a trip to see the other. This might have been physical travel or energetic outreach. The reason? Something they tried against you didn't work as planned. Some spell backfired completely on them. Some plan collapsed unexpectedly. And now they're scrambling to figure out what to do next. They're having frantic conversations with each other. They're engaged in urgent energy exchanges because they can feel your breakthrough approaching, and they're running out of effective moves against you. If these words stirred your consciousness, hype this video to help more chosen ones awaken to this. Both of these people are broke, spiritually bankrupt, yes, absolutely, but also financially desperate in the material world. Whatever resources existed before are drying up rapidly. Involvement in something together happened in the past. A business venture perhaps, a partnership of some kind, something that went horribly wrong. And instead of taking responsibility for personal choices, fixation on you has become the focus. Making sure that if one person is going down, you go down too, has become the shared mission. Watch this space carefully, because the next move is going to expose everything completely. Someone launched an attack against your creative center. They targeted your ability to birth new realities into existence. Their goal was to have you feeling blocked, uninspired, unable to manifest anything fresh or original. If they could disconnect you from your creative power, you would become dependent on others. You would start asking them for help. You would hand over the validation that they're starving for, but their plan backfired spectacularly on them. Instead of blocking your creativity, they forced you to discover new channels for expression. You found talents you didn't know existed within you. You started creating from pure authenticity instead of performing for approval. Your creative evolution became unstoppable because you rooted it in truth, not external validation. Next, they came after your intuition hard. They attacked your ability to see clearly through illusion. They wanted confusion to be your outcome. They aimed for you to second-guess everything. Their target was making you unable to trust your own readings of energy and intention, because if your intuition stayed sharp, you would see certain people for who they really are. You would spot the manipulation they use. You would recognize the fake love they perform. You would identify the wolves in friendly packaging. So they attempted to blind you spiritually, and again they got the opposite result from what they wanted. Their attacks sharpened your discernment, like a blade being refined in fire. You stopped listening to words as your primary input. You started reading energy as your main language. You ended accepting explanations at face value. You developed tracking patterns as your new skill. You became fluent in a language that most people don't even know exists. Now you can sense someone's real intentions before they finish speaking their first sentence. When spiritual practices get used for harm instead of healing, consequences come, real ones, and those consequences are landing right now in real time. Magic is turning on the senders. The exact blocks that were sent your way are circling back and hitting original sources instead. The experiencing of confusion, delays, and closed doors that were meant to curse you with is becoming the reality for others. One person made dangerous agreements with forces barely understood, working with entities that demand payment regardless of human excuses, and now the bill is coming due with interest. Sleep is wrecked for this person, peace is completely gone, the mind is spiraling into chaos. Being trapped in a contract that cannot be escaped is the current reality. The realization that control was never actually held is coming too late. Being used by something darker was always the truth. While chaos played out in the shadows of jealousy and manipulation, something magnificent was building in the light of divine orchestration. An opportunity designed specifically for you has been in development, custom fit for your unique gifts and talents. Not just another chance to make money or get recognition from people who don't matter. This is a portal into your next timeline, where everything you've been working toward clicks into perfect alignment. For some of you, this manifests as financial breakthrough, unexpected income from sources you hadn't anticipated, a new position that actually values what you bring, a business idea finally gaining traction, something that shifts your material reality in significant ways. For others, this shows up as relational transformation, the right people finally finding you at the perfect time, connections forming that open doors you didn't even know existed. Or this might appear as complete life transformation, career change, location change, daily reality getting reconstructed from the ground up. Whatever form this takes, a fundamental shift in your existence is what this represents. Divine timing has been stamped on this opportunity, not random chance, not mere luck. This is the universe declaring that your tests are complete. Your character has been proven through fire. Now receive what was prepared before you were even born into this lifetime. This is an appointment that was scheduled long ago in the spiritual realm, and manifestation in your physical world is happening now. Mark this moment in your awareness, because what happens next will show you exactly who has been real and who has been playing roles in your life. Protection has surrounded you this whole time, invisible to physical eyes but absolute in its effectiveness. Forces working on your behalf that you couldn't perceive in ordinary consciousness, deflecting attacks before reaching you, rerouting harmful intentions before impact, strengthening your energetic field. Every time someone tried to break through, Divine guarding through this entire spiritual war has been your reality. That's why you're still standing strong, why you haven't broken despite everything thrown at you, why hope survived when logic said to give up completely. The protection was and is perfect, and this protection is intensifying as you approach your breakthrough moment. Shields are getting stronger, discernment is getting sharper, intuition is becoming clearer. You're becoming untouchable to lower frequencies, not through building walls but through raising vibration. You're operating where attacks can't reach anymore. Guard what you share with people. Stop broadcasting your plans to everyone who asks. Your vision for the future isn't public information to be consumed by the curious. People in your circle are asking about your life, not from genuine care but from intelligence-gathering operations. Listening is happening with ulterior motives. Notes are being taken. Information is being reported elsewhere or stored for later use against you. Red flags have been appearing. Intuitive warnings that you dismissed because seeming paranoid felt uncomfortable. Energy that felt off in someone's presence. Questions that felt invasive despite friendly packaging. Interest that seemed excessive for the relationship level. Go back in your memory and review those moments honestly. Trust what your spirit was screaming at you. Those weren't false alarms or overreactions. Those were accurate reads of real intentions hiding behind masks. That person who keeps showing up uninvited to your events and gatherings, supporting you is not the motivation. Monitoring is the real agenda. That family member who suddenly became interested in your projects after being dismissive for so long. Pride is not what this represents. Calculating the next move is what's actually happening. That colleague who asks detailed questions about your strategies and methods. Curiosity is not the driver. Copying is the intention. Your guides have been showing you these patterns repeatedly through different situations. The same behaviors appearing from different people. The same energy signatures just wearing different faces and names. Clues have been dropped in your dreams while you sleep. Repeated number sequences have been sent when you're around certain people. Your stomach has been made to turn when specific names get mentioned. Physical distance has been created between you and danger, even when your mind wanted to stay close out of obligation or guilt. Something your spiritual team needs you to understand about the nature of these hidden enemies is crucial. Operating alone in isolation is not how this works. A network exists, and this network has been in place longer than you realize. Some of these connections go back to before you even met these people personally. Knowing each other first happened, then positioning themselves around you strategically was the next step. Not by accident or organic friendship, by design and intentional infiltration. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is, you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Think about how certain people entered your life when you examine the timeline, the timing of the introduction, the circumstances that brought you together, the way certain individuals seemed to know exactly what to say to gain your trust quickly, the way positioning happened as helpers, supporters, confidants who had your best interests at heart, This wasn't organic friendship developing naturally. This was infiltration executed with precision, and your guides have been trying to show you this pattern since the very beginning. Someone is about to approach with what appears to be an incredible offer, romantic possibility, business opportunity, a chance that seems too good to refuse, and it will seem like answered prayer in the moment, but something will feel off if you pay attention. Timing will feel rushed and urgent. Pressure to commit will be intense and relentless. Terms will sound generous but remain vague when you ask for specifics. Your gut will signal danger, even if logic can't explain why clearly. This is a trap being set. Someone trying to get close enough to sabotage from inside your circle of trust. Real opportunities that are divinely aligned don't require abandoning discernment. Pressure to override intuition is not part of genuine blessings. Violation of the wisdom you earned through experience is not demanded. Aligned opportunities can feel challenging because growth is required, but violation is not part of the package. Trauma triggers are not included. Demands to silence your inner knowing are not present. Pay attention to your body's response when you're around certain people going forward. Your shoulders tense up automatically. Your jaw clenches without conscious thought. Your breathing becomes shallow and restricted. That's not anxiety disorder. That's your body reading energy your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Your physical form knows who's safe and who isn't at a cellular level, screaming at you through tension, through illness, through exhaustion, after spending time with specific individuals has been happening. Your guides want you to see that headaches coming after talking to that one person aren't coincidence. Sudden fatigue after being in certain spaces isn't weakness in your constitution. The way your creativity dries up completely after conversations with particular people isn't random bad luck. These are energetic attacks hiding in plain sight as normal social interactions. Your body is the alarm system that never fails, and it's been going off constantly trying to warn you. What you're experiencing right now is ascension in real time, not self-improvement from a weekend seminar. Actual consciousness upgrade at the soul level, frequency shift that changes what you can perceive and create. This isn't about becoming a better version of yourself. This is about becoming fundamentally different in how you operate. The old operating system is being deleted from your psyche. Old beliefs that kept you small, old patterns that kept you stuck, old programming that kept you controllable. New code is being installed in your consciousness. This new code lets you operate at levels you've never accessed before in this lifetime. Perceive realities you couldn't see with old eyes. Attract what wasn't available at your old frequency. Connect with people who exist in higher vibrations. Create outcomes that were impossible when running the old system. This process can't be rushed by anyone, including you. Can't be forced through willpower alone. Can't be stopped by people still running outdated programs. Portals are opening in your life now. Energetic doorways that weren't there before this shift. New pathways lighting up that were invisible at lower frequencies. Opportunities that wouldn't have been possible at your previous level are now appearing in your reality. People who couldn't find you before are now showing up at perfect timing. Resources are flowing from unexpected sources you never would have thought to access. This happens when real work gets done, healing wounds instead of numbing them, releasing grudges instead of nursing them, forgiving yourself instead of punishing yourself, choosing growth over comfort, repeatedly. People trying to block you can't see these portals opening. No access exists to the frequencies where transformation occurs. Only your external life is visible to outside observation, and even that external view confuses certain people because you're not following the script they wrote for you. Breaking was supposed to happen by now. Giving up was the expected outcome. Becoming bitter and closed off was the prediction. But instead you're more open than ever before, more loving despite the attacks, more creative despite the blocks, more aligned with purpose despite the interference. That doesn't compute for people operating at lower frequencies. Understanding of how real transformation works is not available there. Your body is experiencing this shift physically, in measurable ways. Sleep patterns are changing. Vivid dreams are happening with messages embedded. Heightened sensitivity to environments and energy is developing. Need for solitude is increasing when before you feared being alone. Urges to move your body, to create, to express what's moving through you, are intensifying. These aren't random symptoms to be medicated away. These are signs your frequency is elevating successfully. Body is adjusting to new vibration. Energy field is expanding beyond old boundaries. Consciousness is integrating new awareness levels. Your sudden need to rearrange your living space completely. That's not boredom with your surroundings. That's your energy field demanding physical alignment with your new frequency. The way certain foods suddenly don't appeal to you anymore, even though you used to love them. Your vibration is changing what your body can tolerate. The friends who felt comfortable before now feeling draining after short periods together. You've outgrown that energetic exchange rate. Your guides have been communicating through what seems like mundane life changes to outside observers. That book that keeps falling off your shelf when nothing else moves. Read it now. There's a message there for you. The song that plays every single time you get in your vehicle. Listen to the lyrics carefully. There's guidance embedded in those words. The animal that keeps crossing your path in unusual ways. Look up the spiritual meaning. Your guides are using everything available to reach you. Pay attention to what breaks in your home during this transition. The mirror that cracked for no apparent reason. Old self-image is shattering to make room for new vision. The technology that malfunctions around certain people but works fine otherwise. Energy incompatibility with your new frequency. The plants that suddenly thrive or die without changes in care. Responding to energetic shifts in your space. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is communication. The people who can't stand being around you now for no reason they can articulate. Annoyance with your personality is not the real issue. Being repelled by your vibration is what's actually happening. Your energy is literally uncomfortable for lower frequencies to be near. Like trying to force magnets together the wrong way creates resistance. Recognition that you're no longer a match is happening at a subconscious level, and that recognition triggers a fight response in their nervous system. Watch how people react when you walk into a room now compared to before. Some light up with genuine joy. Others immediately look for exits. Some want to be closer to your energy. Others suddenly need to create distance. This isn't about being likable or having good social skills. This is about energetic compatibility at a frequency level, and your new vibration is sorting people automatically. Your presence alone is revealing who belongs in your next chapter and who doesn't. A lie is being prepared right now, already spreading for some of you, designed specifically to attack your character, making you look irresponsible, untrustworthy, or incompetent is the goal. This lie references your past, possibly from when you were younger and making mistakes everyone makes while growing up. The spreaders will perform concern convincingly, acting reluctant to share the information, claiming protection of others from you is the motivation. It's all theater. Desperation is the real driver. Watching you rise is creating panic. Playing the last card in the deck is what's happening. Hoping to damage reputation before breakthrough manifests fully is the strategy. Wanting to poison the well is the intention. Making sure that when opportunity comes looking for you, a tarnished image is found instead of truth. Creating doubt in the minds of people who might otherwise support, invest in, partner with or celebrate you is the desired outcome. Your guides want you to understand something crucial here. The lie isn't really about your past behavior. The lie is about the interpretation of your growth. You being the villain in another person's story is needed because if you're not, confronting personal toxicity becomes necessary. You being wrong is required, so being right remains possible for someone else. You being the problem is essential, so changing personal behavior isn't required. Watch what gets focused on by these spreaders, not your successes or achievements, not your growth or healing, not your positive impact on others. Obsession exists with the version of you that was wounded, confused, making mistakes from a place of pain. Wanting everyone to remember you at your lowest is the goal, because your highest threatens an entire worldview. Trying to keep you frozen in a moment that no longer exists is the strategy. Someone specific is orchestrating this narrative, and here's what's hiding in plain sight. Your own vulnerability is being used against you. Remember when you shared your struggles openly, your trauma, your healing journey. Notes were taken. Weaponizing your honesty is what's happening now, turning your transparency into ammunition, using your courage to be authentic as proof that you're damaged beyond redemption. Your guides are showing you this so pattern recognition becomes possible. Genuine people receive your vulnerability with honor. Holding your story as sacred is what real friends do. Using your pain as entertainment or ammunition is what reveals character. When someone takes what you shared in confidence and spreads it with commentary attached, that tells you everything about who this person is and nothing about who you are. Pay attention to who's suddenly asking mutual friends about you, who's bringing your name up in conversations where you're not present, who's expressing concern that sounds caring but feels invasive when you hear about it. These are reconnaissance missions, testing the waters, seeing who can be turned against you, measuring how much damage can be done before your breakthrough arrives. Your real supporters have already seen these tactics being used. The people meant for your next level can spot manipulation from a distance. Watching these spreaders operate for a while now has happened. Noticing the patterns has occurred. Recognizing the energy has been done, and buying what's being sold is not happening. The universe is using this attack as a spotlight, not on you as the target, on those doing the attacking. Everyone paying attention can now see exactly who these people are, what they're capable of, how they operate when threatened. They thought your reputation was being destroyed. Their own credibility with everyone who matters is actually being destroyed. People who watched you struggle are about to watch you thrive, and witnessing this will hurt certain individuals deeply, because so much energy was invested in preventing exactly this outcome. Stories were told about why you didn't deserve success. Convincing themselves that you were somehow less worthy happened. Now confronting the fact that none of that was true becomes unavoidable. Your success forces looking in mirrors, and liking what gets seen there won't be the experience. But that's not your problem to solve, not your responsibility to manage. That's someone else's journey, someone else's lesson, someone else's growth opportunity that will probably get missed because being too busy bitter is easier. Your job is receiving what's yours with gratitude and grace, regardless of how it makes others feel. Permission to prosper is not needed from anyone. Approval to thrive is not required. Consensus to step into abundance is not necessary. This incoming abundance isn't just about elevating your personal life. Positioning you to help others is what this represents. Your breakthrough creates ripples outward. When you rise, lifting others happens naturally. When you heal, making healing accessible for others in your community becomes possible. When you succeed, proving it's possible for people who look like you, come from where you came from, struggled like you struggled is what happens. Your victory is never just about you alone. Coming from where you expect is not what's happening. Looking at traditional sources has been your focus. Applying to conventional positions has been your strategy. Following predictable paths has been your approach. But your abundance is coming from a completely different direction. That side interest you've been developing quietly, that's the portal. That creative project you do for pure enjoyment, that's the doorway. That skill you think is too simple to monetize, that's the key. Your guides have been trying to redirect your focus through gentle nudging, that idea that keeps coming back to your mind. Stop dismissing it as impractical. That business concept you shared with someone who stole it. You're about to do it better than it was ever done before. That creative expression you've been putting off. Now is the time. The universe has been dropping hints in your passion, in your play, in the things that make you lose track of time completely. People who've been watching you are about to be shocked, because your success won't come from traditional grinding. Flowing from alignment is what's happening. From you finally doing what you were designed to do, instead of what you were conditioned to do. Waiting for failure has been the expectation, because measuring success by conventional metrics was the only reference point available. But you're about to win by completely different rules that don't make sense to old paradigm thinking. Your spiritual team orchestrated this entire experience with precision, positioning you strategically, preparing you thoroughly, protecting you constantly. They knew this moment was coming, knew you'd need strength to handle attack and breakthrough simultaneously, allowed certain challenges, because those specific challenges developed exact qualities needed for the next level. Punishment was never the intention. Preparation was always the purpose. Abandonment never happened. Equipment for victory was being provided. The approaching opportunity isn't just material gain. Complete alignment is what this represents. Right place with right people, doing right work at right time. Gifts being recognized and valued properly. Effort being compensated fairly. Voice being heard. Presence being celebrated. True alignment where who you are and what you do exist in perfect harmony. Your guides want you to see how this unfolds without your involvement. That person who spread lies, personal dishonesty, is catching up in other areas of life. That one who tried to block your opportunities. Doors are closing in that person's face now. That alliance formed against you, turning on itself is what's happening. Fighting each other now has become the focus. The energy sent toward you is circling back and landing exactly where it originated. Something profound is hiding in plain sight here. The very thing attempts were made to destroy in you is the thing now thriving. The creativity tried to block is flowing stronger than ever. The confidence tried to shake is unshakable now. The opportunities tried to steal are multiplying. Attacks didn't just fail. Backfiring so completely happened that you're stronger in every area that was targeted. Chosen one, here's what you need to understand with absolute certainty. You've already won. The outcome is decided. The blessing is secured. The breakthrough is manifesting. What you're experiencing right now is just the transition period between where you were and where you're going. Feels chaotic because you're between worlds. One foot still in old reality, one foot already planted in new timeline, but you're moving forward. Every single day, every choice, every boundary, every moment of choosing yourself. The chaos around you is actually proof of progress. If you weren't moving into something significant, this much resistance wouldn't exist. If you weren't a genuine threat to old paradigm thinking, these attacks wouldn't be happening. Intensity of opposition is directly proportional to magnitude of destiny. Fighting this hard isn't happening because you're insignificant. Fighting this hard is happening because what you're becoming is recognized. The universe is proving you were never forgotten. Struggles were never meaningless. Faith was never misplaced. Perseverance was never wasted. Everything is making sense now. Every piece is clicking into place. Every question is finding its answer, and everyone hiding in plain sight, wearing friendship masks while working against you, being fully exposed and completely removed from your path is what's happening. Your breakthrough is here. Your moment has arrived. Your season is now. Not because you're perfect, because you're ready. Not because you have all the answers, because you learned the right questions. Not because the road was easy, because you walked it anyway. Step forward boldly. Claim what's yours unapologetically. Receive without guilt. Celebrate without shame. Shine without dimming. You've earned this, survived this, overcome this. Now live this. fully, freely, fearlessly. Your guides have been waiting to show you what's been hiding in plain sight all this time. You are powerful beyond measure, protected beyond understanding, loved beyond words, destined for greatness beyond imagination. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your victory. Welcome to the other side, chosen one. Everything changes from here.